Well guys, we're back outside again today because I'm never outside enough. I don't know how anybody can stand being inside all the time. I go one day without going outside and I start going insane a little bit, but I don't exactly have too much of a plan going out here. I've got an emergency tent that I might try and set up and see what that's like. I'm sure I'll build a fire again. And thank you to everybody who went over to that video and supported it. That was insane. But yeah, like I said, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna get into, but I'm gonna bring you guys along with it. All right, so I'm back in the same spot where I made the fire in the last video, and so I'm just gonna use this spot over again, and probably somewhere in here I'm gonna try and set up that emergency tent in a little bit, I think. Or I might try and make some other kind of bushcraft shelter, possibly. I'm gonna set up some kind of shelter today, I know that. And then I think before I leave, I'm gonna end up using some of the things that I've got in my pack, and I'm gonna try and eat something before I leave as well. I'm gonna bring you guys through that as well, just so you can see everything that I'm doing. But I'm gonna go get more wood to start this fire. I'm gonna be here a lot longer today than I was when I made that fire, so I'm gonna actually need to make a fire that's gonna last a while. It's also quite a bit colder today. It was like mid-30s when I made that fire video, and now it's like low 20s, so still not too cold. Like, I can stand it fine, but it'd be nice to have a fire going. So here on the property, we've got this creek, and it actually drains a pretty major lake around my area, and it was starting to get overgrown along the edges a little bit. So we actually ended up cleaning the banks up quite a bit this summer, and today that's going to help me out a lot, because all along this creek there's huge brush piles. So today, since I'm going to be out here a little bit longer, I need to make sure I have enough wood to have a fire last a long time. I'm just going to steal some wood from these brush piles here that I've already got. Okay guys, so I've got my fire set up, and again we're going to be using this Westlake tactical ferro rod, and we're going to be using the back edge of this M-Tech blade as the striker. And hopefully in this video we're going to give it some redemption, since you guys didn't get to see the fire going because my camera died. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. In this one it shouldn't, but we're going to try and get this fire started here. I don't know why that dryer lint isn't catching. Oh, there we go. I don't know if this is gonna work or not. I might have to go again and try and get the sparks more into this area where the rest of my tinder is. Okay guys, so I've added some more tinder. I think we're gonna try this again over in this pocket, because that's actually where I had most of it, and it decided to spread the opposite direction. So let's try this again. There we go. So guys, I do have a fire going now. Hopefully somehow it doesn't manage to go out on me, but with my luck, who knows. But I'm gonna be honest guys, I did not use the ferrocerium rod to start this fire, but it was not the ferro rod's fault. As you saw in the beginning, the ferro rod did do its job. It made sparks and it lit my tinder, but for some reason, I think the wood is a little bit more damp than the other day when I was trying it, and I could not get this fire to start from my tinder. So I ended up setting a couple matches in there, and I had to use matches to get this thing going. So I guess so much for the redemption on the ferro rod for this video, but it did do its job. It's just, for some reason my tinder wouldn't light the wood, but the ferro rod is doing its job lighting the tinder. You guys saw in the beginning it did work, so I still stand by the fact that that's a good ferro rod if you have the right blade. But yeah, guys. Well, the fire's still going, and I went out and I got just a little bit of wood to make sure that I don't have to worry about going out and gathering too much. But man, I think before I go out and do anything else, I've got my little cup here, my metal cup. Put some water in it that I already had in my pack, and I think I'm gonna try it and heat it up and make some tea. So while I'm waiting for that water to heat up, let's take a moment and talk about this emergency tent that I got. So guys, this is a Primal emergency tent. I just found it on Amazon for like 14 bucks or something. I did take it out of the packaging, and I'm regretting it, because like most tents that you have to roll up and stuff back into these little bags, it just doesn't want to work. But this kit comes with the case, the tent. There is 4 tent stakes and then some 550 paracord to help you set it up. And I think today we're gonna take it out and actually try and set it up if we like we would if we needed it. So I think my water is ready for my tea. I've got a little bit of bark in there because I was too close when I was breaking some limbs, but I never killed anybody, right? All right, guys, so I think my tea is done. It's turned a nice color here. It is the Brenner raspberry flavored hibiscus. I've not tried this yet, and I'm about to for the first time. Hopefully it's good. Okay, so I think I found a pretty good spot to set this up in between these 2 trees here. The only reason that you need the trees is because you have to put the paracord through your tent and then tie the paracord to the trees, and that's what holds your roof above. The only thing I'm going to be doing differently in this scenario than in most is usually you'd be using the tent stakes that come with it, about like normal tent stakes, but I am quite literally on ice right here, so that's not really an option. But this is good thick ice. I'm not going to fall through, so I'm just going to use maybe a couple things from my bag or something to weigh the corners down. So the first step here is to take the paracord that comes with the tent and to run it through the middle of the tent and tie it to both trees at the proper height. Okay, so once you have that done, the next thing you want to do normally would be to put your tent stakes down in the corner to actually make the triangle tent shape. But in this case, I'm just going to be finding a couple objects to weigh the corners down. Okay guys, and just like that, you have your emergency tent set up. This thing is definitely not a camping tent kind of deal. Much too small, but that's not what this thing is made for. This thing is made so that if you get stranded out in the woods, you can quickly set it up and you have yourself an emergency source for shelter. Overall, that really didn't take too much time here. The video is going to get cut down, but I'm currently at 7 minutes and 45 seconds for recording. And yeah, that really didn't take too long. Okay guys, so my overall thoughts on this is it's a great purchase, and I definitely recommend it to have in your EDC. For only $14, it offers a great way to have quick and easy emergency shelter. It's definitely not for camping, but that's not what it's made for. The only thing that I might do differently if I was in a situation where I had to use this, just trying to get you guys another inside view, but I don't think if I had to use this thing that I would leave the ends open, like weighing the corners down and keeping the ends open. I think I would try and climb inside and find a way to close those ends up. I've got duct tape in my EDC, so I might try and duct tape those ends up. And I only say that because right now it's supposed to get to, so right now it's about 20 degrees, but tonight it's supposed to drop down into the teens, I think. But if you have those ends open, you're going to let all your body heat pretty much just escape out of there. And if you could find a way to seal those ends and trap your heat in, you're going to be way better off. But other than that, I think it's a great purchase and a great thing to have. So guys, like I said, I'm going to try and eat something while I'm out here. And so I'm heating some more water back up here for the food and possibly another cup of tea, not sure yet, but let me show you what I have out here to eat today. So the food I'm going to be trying today is this Lipton cup of soup. It is chicken noodle, and supposedly all you have to do is add hot water to it and let it sit for a minute. And you don't even need to have a spoon or anything. You just pour it in your mouth and it'll be fine. But I haven't had one of these yet at all, and this is going to be my first time trying it. Alright guys, well I have my soup made here. I think I told you guys a little bit wrong. You don't put the water in the packet, you put the packet in your mug, but still really easy to make. You bring your water up to a boil, add the noodles, and stir it. I just stirred it with a stick, it's whatever. And then just let it sit a couple minutes until the water cools down enough that you can eat it, and the noodles should be cooked enough by then that you can eat it. But yeah, let's give it a taste test. That's really good. I don't like soup, but I actually do like this. So I guess that's another thing that I would recommend putting in your pack. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find a link for these, but they're really small and easy to make. So yeah, I would recommend having some of these in there as well. Well guys, the fire's starting to get burnt out for the most part. Now I'm about ready to pack up and leave. So this is going to be the end of the video. If you guys hung out this long, thank you very much. There will be a link in the description for the emergency tent and hopefully for those cup of soups, if I can find a link for them. I hope you guys learned something today, or at the very least were mildly entertained. But I know this video didn't really have too much of a main purpose. Mostly just that tent is why I wanted to come out here. But yeah, guys, like, comment, share, and subscribe, all that good stuff, and thank you for watching.